Martin Seligman, a name synonymous with positive psychology. But who is the man behind the movement? What led him to redefine the field of psychology from one that primarily focused on illness to one that embraces strengths, optimism, and well being? Martin Seligman is known as the father of positive psychology. His work includes the PERMA model of well being and the VIA survey of character strengths, both of which will be discussed further in this presentation. Seligman was born in Albany, New York, and raised in an Orthodox Jewish family. He attended various public schools before going to Princeton to pursue a bachelor's of philosophy, and his interest in psychology was sparked early. At just age 13, his sister introduced him to Freud's work, igniting a curiosity that led him to Princeton. After graduating, Seligman worked as an assistant professor at Cornell and then moved to Pennsylvania and served as the director of the clinical training program at UPenn for 14 years. As the director, Seligman's work revolved around learned helplessness, positive psychology, depression, resilience, optimism, and pessimism. Once Seligman's work in positive psychology was more established, he founded the Positive Psychology Center at UPenn. Seligman also worked on Character Strengths and Virtues Classification Manual, which is considered the positive counterpart to the DSM. As mentioned previously, Seligman's work focused a lot on learned helplessness, the idea that individuals with clinical depression have a state of mind where they believe that they're unable to change their situation, even when there are clear solutions that are available. Seligman shifted his scope to develop the idea of learned optimism, where individuals can learn to change their situations, believe bad events are temporary, and thus bounce back quickly from them. Another model developed by Seligman and colleagues is the PERMA model of well-being. This framework identifies 5 elements that contribute to well-being and flourishing, including positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievement. Seligman and colleagues also developed the VIA characteristics, an inventory of character strengths which reflect one's core identity and contribute to well-being. Common characteristics include creativity, honesty, and humor. Living in Albany, New York, Seligman grew up in a predominantly Orthodox Jewish area. With this, Seligman was constantly surrounded by a community that emphasized connection, faith, and acts of loving kindness. Orthodox Judaism promotes a life where every moment reflects a consciousness of a higher purpose, an idea that would later align with Seligman's focus on meaning and well-being. Family life also contributes to Seligman's outlook on life and later development of positive psychology. Seligman had a significant interaction with his daughter. One day, while gardening with his 5-year-old daughter Nikki, Seligman scolded her for whining. In response, Nikki reminded him that she had stopped whining as of her last birthday 11 months ago. She challenged him. If she could stop whining, why couldn't he stop being such a grouch? This simple but profound moment changed Seligman's perspective. He realized that psychology had spent decades focusing on what was wrong with people, but what if he also focused on what was right? Seligman's career unfolded during a time where psychology primarily focused on mental illness and dysfunction. There was little focus on positive psychology in the Western world at this time, making it difficult to break out into this new positive field. Seligman recognized the need to balance both positive and negative views of psychology, and breaking out into a new field in itself can be seen as courageous, displaying the positive outlook and perseverance that Seligman had, further shaping his future studies. Seligman's personal life may also contribute to the trajectory of his work. For instance, Seligman has been previously divorced, remarrying once. He described in his memoir that after he divorced from his first wife, he fell in love with a mesmerizing graduate student who left him, which led him to battle with depression until he remarried in 1988 to another student of his. This may display an ability to be resilient in the face of challenge, learn to change a bad situation, and bounce back quickly from negativity, reflecting his later work in positive psychology. Seligman was also known as a grouch. However, he was strength-focused and charismatic. These characteristics reflect the very principles he promotes: growth, resilience, and the power of shifting perspective. One of the most pivotal moments in Seligman's life came when his father suffered a stroke. Seligman watched a once strong, capable man become helpless. This personal tragedy would shape his research, potentially leading to the development of one of his most famous theories: learned helplessness and learned optimism. Martin Seligman should be remembered as a pioneering psychologist who shifted the focus of psychology from merely treating mental illness to fostering human flourishing. His work on learned helplessness and learned optimism revolutionized our understanding of depression, resilience, and personal growth. By introducing positive psychology, he laid the foundation for scientific research on happiness, strengths, and well being. We can learn much from his work, including a negative outlook is not fixed, optimism and resilience can be cultivated, well being is multifaceted and requires a balance of positive emotions, relationships, purpose, and achievement, and science should not just focus on illness, but also on what makes life worth living. Thank you.